Afternoon. This is the meeting of the Parks, Aquatics, Recreation, and Trails Commission on Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. May we have roll call, please?
Yes. Chairman Fogg. Present. Commissioner Lawson.
Present.
Commissioner Engelson. Absent. Commissioner Dory.
Present.
Commissioner Smith. Here. Commissioner Mann.
Present.
Vice Chairman Ferry. Excuse me. Present. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Okay, now that we have the roll call, we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Now we will have the approval of minutes. I do have just a correction on number 3, the action items. Metcalf Park, actually Metcalf needs E on the end of it. We got to make sure our parks are spelled correctly. And also in the, there's the word Metcalf again in there where it sounds like Kingman there. Okay. Is there any more questions or corrections? May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Do all agree?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion just passed. Call to the public. Comments from the public. Those wishing to address the commission should fill out request forms in advance. Comments from the public will be restricted to items not on the agenda, with the exception of those on the consent agenda. There will be no comments allowed that advertise for a particular person or group. Comments should be limited to no more than 3 minutes. The commission may not respond to speakers during the call to the public, and the commission may direct the staff to study the matter or request that the matter be placed on a future agenda. Do we have anything for call to the public?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Okay, well, we're going to go on to number 3, the action items, and it's the Sounds of Kingman request for a mural at Metcalf Park.
Good morning.
Good morning, Robin.
Thank you for having me. My name is Robin Gordon. I'm the chair of Sounds of Kingman, and I bring with me this morning Monica Galika. She is the artist who designed this fabulous mural for us and who's going to paint it for us. First of all, I'd like to say this is the second draft of this mural. I submitted the first draft to Mr. Mearsman, and Mike recommended that we put the heart or put something in this on the mural saying Kingman, Arizona. We always want to make sure that anytime we anticipate people will take pictures here, and we want to make sure that we publicize Kingman whenever we have the opportunity. So thank you, Mike. The heart is yours. Yeah. We are proposing having Monica paint this mural on the side of the restroom building down at Metcalf Park, the side of the building that faces Grandview. We thought that was the best location because people coming into town would see the mural. People going up Grandview to the high school and beyond would see the mural. We thought that that would really be the best place to put it for it to be seen by as many people as possible. We are planning on paying all the expenses associated with painting the mural. We have kind of a vested interest in Metcalf Park. We're working on our currently 15th season of concerts down in Metcalf Park. So it's kind of a special place to our group, and we want to do all we can to make the park better. I also wanted just to say that since we've been using Metcalf Park, Mike and his staff have done a fabulous job making improvements down there. That park is not the same park that we held our first concert in. So I just want to recommend that Mike has been wonderful to work with, and I know He's not actually down there, he's directing everybody, but he's doing a great job, and his crew is too, and I just want to recognize that, because we spend a lot of time there and get to see it, and it's really a much nicer park than it was when we had our first concert. So with that, I would entertain any questions for myself or for Monica in regards to the mural, and I'm hoping you'll think it's as good an idea as I do, and direct council to approve this mural painting, and so we can move forward with getting it going.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
It's a beautiful mural. Are we going to do something in terms of UV protection
Yes,
over the top?
absolutely. Yeah. There's two things we have to do. There's some kind of a coating we have to put on the wall first. I'm not the technician, Monica is. And then once the mural is painted, there's another coating that goes on that is UV protected and also makes it easier to remove graffiti, from what I understand. So we're aware of all those things, and we certainly will do them all, so that we want it protected as much as you do. So
I was just curious about how long will it take? It's so
to put it
pretty.
up,
Yeah.
It will take about 2 weeks, depending on when it is to be started. If it gets approved like by the summertime, I'll have to go like in the morning, to avoid the heat and stuff. And I'm only human, so it'll take just a couple days, and I'll be doing it by myself mostly. So, yeah, that's a good question.
are there any other questions?
Okay, I just have a technical question
Oh, boy.
because we worked on that mural behind the theater
Uh-huh.
and such a fun project, and I love this.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you guys foresee being able to come back and touch up in,
Yeah, we want it to stay nice looking. So if and when, and I'm sure it's a when, the mural needs to be refreshed, we certainly are planning on having Monica come back and refresh it, and we would pay for that also. It's going to be our mural, and we want it to look nice. So
Thank
the only thing that's not on this rendering, somewhere we're going to provide sounds of Kingman and also Monica's name. I think it's important that she, as the artist, gets recognized for her fabulous work. So those are two things that will be added to the mural when she does it.
Oh, thank you. It's
You're
beautiful.
welcome.
Any more comments or
I
questions?
have a trivial question.
Okay.
On the side that's gonna have the mural on it, is the base for that, is it white, or will you still see the stone?
I'm sorry, is the building white?
Cause it looks like, I can't remember if it's white or
It's
if it's
gray,
stone
kind of a
color.
light colored gray block.
So will it be white on that side and then the mural go on, or does it stay
Oh,
the
behind
same?
like the cactus, and
Yeah.
will this all be white here?
The
That's what he's
substrate.
asking.
So what I was planning on doing is the primer that I use, that one is gonna be white. So it will be only where the subject is. So some parts of it will still be concrete, but I will be using a white base coating for the subjects, like the succulents, and the flag will be white, but it's going to be covered eventually, because that's part of the process of going with primer first and then going with color. But for the most part, everything that's not painted will be in concrete.
Sure, gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Well, do we, I believe, have a motion for this to go to council so they can approve it?
I'd like to make a motion that we send this to council for approval.
I second that.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you very
Good.
much. We look forward to it. I think it's going to be a nice addition to the park. So,
Yes, it will.
Yep.
It will.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, on our action items, we're going to be adopt a park program discussion. I believe Vice Chairman Sarah Ferry requested an item on the agenda to discuss the adopt a park program.
Okay, so this information is all in your packet, so I'm not going to read everything to you. We'll just go down and talk about it. We have I guess I'm trying to, on to the next slide, I guess I'm trying to control it from here, but they're controlling it downstairs, I think. Basically, this is something that we started, I don't know exactly how many years ago, quite a few years ago though, and it kind of came off of the Adopt a Street program where Public Works had Adopt a Street program, so we kind of like saw what they were doing with that and tried to get community involvement to get people to take care of the parks, and we have some really good, we're trying to promote the community engagement, enhance park quality, foster stewardship, get people to care about our parks. So these are the keys to what they do for the Adopt a Park program, basically like clean up litter, take care of landscaping, trail maintenance. They can adopt any part of the park, not just the whole park, any part of the park. And they can even recommend park improvements, and some groups have donated some park improvements, which we're always open for that, and that has to be approved by council. But so how it works, basically, the individual or group that wants to adopt a park, they fill out and the information was in the packet too. We have an application, they fill it out and put where they would like to adopt and what part. And we work really well with the groups. We don't say, oh no, you can't do this or you can't do that. We like to really get them doing as much as they want to do. So, and then our staff will get trash bags for them, and if they need a wheelbarrow, if they need rakes, things like that, our guys will get that to them when they're going to do the work. And then after doing it for a year, there's a sign recognizing the group that's doing it. And there's benefits to the program. What I've said to the groups that have done it is basically they're replacing our inmate program because we don't have inmate program anymore. So I joke with them and say that that's what they're doing. And with the inmate program, it was really good because those people all wanted to be there. So, and when this Adopt a Park, they want to be there and they take pride in it. And so it's really, I think it's an exciting project. I think this is really good. And the more people or groups we could get to do it would be great. It's cleaner, safer parks. It's increased public space recreation for recreation events, strong connection between the residents and our city government, which is real exciting too. It reduces strain on our maintenance budget, obviously, like I mentioned about replacing the inmates. So, and it gets people that care about the park. I mean, those groups that we have that are doing the Adopt a Park program, they take pride in it and they love them as much as we do. So here's who we have, the current adopters are. And obviously some of them do more work than others. And so, but we appreciate any work that anybody does. So, so this is kind of what it is so far. Like I said, we really, truly appreciate everything that they do. Here's needs, I guess. Lewis Kingman Park, one of our busier spots. These are kind of needs identified by our park staff of where we could use more Adopt a Park groups and things like that. So basically that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And Sarah, I'm not sure if you have.
I have a question. Are there any parks right now that don't have Adopt a Park?
Yes, some of these right here, and Centennial has parts of it adopted by certain groups, but not the whole park. And like I said, we're the pickleball group. If they want to adopt the pickleball courts, that'd be great. And they haven't adopted it, but they come out and help us clean them and things like that. So, but anything like that people want to adopt, we're more than happy to do that. So.
And if there's anything, while they are cleaning up the park, if they see anything that might need some maintenance, are they calling you and saying, hey, a swing is broke?
Yep,
or?
it's perfect. We get a lot of that, really. And at Metcalf Park, Robin Gordon mentioned about how that's gotten so much better. There's groups that adopt that, and they call us about things, and they've donated some things there. And, they donated the handrails going up the steps, which is, I think, an awesome improvement there. So, like I said, we appreciate every group and however little they do or however much they do. It's really, really refreshing to see, honestly.
So I requested that we put this on the agenda because this is a little bit of a passion project for me. When I was serving on the Clean City Commission, we had an item on the agenda each time we had a meeting. It was a recurring item, and it was how can we get the community engaged? How can we get the community to care about and take care of things and not litter? And this was kind of that discussion, you know? And I see it on the other, like the parks side, like how can we get the community to help care for our parks? And, you know, maybe foster a sense of being a good neighbor and steward for the park. And maybe we can help educate some of these kiddos about all the vandalism and everything. So we voted to put into place the Adopt a Park and Adopt a Trail program. So then when I came to the Parks Commission, I felt like this is a really great opportunity to kind of close the loop there. I know that we all are on this commission because we're volunteers and we love to volunteer and we love to help out. And I thought maybe this could be a little bit of a project for our commission where we could help to look at the need and help to recruit people in the community, help to educate people. If there's needs to be delegated, like collecting hours that different groups do. I wonder if we could, if the commission felt like this was something you guys were interested in doing, this feels like something we don't have to get a budget really approved for, but it could really help our community in a big way in a lot of different areas. So that's why I wanted to bring this to this meeting.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's great. I mean, maybe we need to do a better job of promoting it too, like maybe on the digital billboards, put it on there once in a while, things like that. So, because I do agree that, you know, we have it, but have we been beating the bushes and trying to get people to do it? We have not been doing as good of a job as maybe we could do. But and obviously, commission members, if you think of a group that might want to do it, feel free to reach out to them. And I think it's great, really. I mean.
Well, and maybe just kind of like formalizing it a little bit, because I think that, you know, you guys are doing the day-to-day work of your jobs, and this maybe could be something that we could be a little more boots on the ground. You know, I'd love to see Kingman Academy of Learning helping adopt a part of Centennial Park. You know, that's their playground, really. You know, and I'd love to see the high school kids at Lee Williams adopting Centennial Park. You know, maybe if some of these kiddos are adopting this park, and, you know, what if they had a project to do basketball courts at Metcalf? And, you know, these are our courts. We worked hard. We fundraised to do this, you know. So I think that if you all are kind of on board with it, maybe just having it, for me, I need a little more structure where I'm like, okay, this is my job. This is what I'm going out to do. So I kind of wanted to just have a little bit of discussion with you guys to see, do you know, first, like, is this something that you'd want to kind of work together on? And then I do have some questions after that.
Also, the new youth commission has adopted part of Centennial Park too, so that's exciting. They're doing that too, so
Yay,
I'll
that's
give them a
great.
plug too, so.
Well, I always thought, as one of the roles of all the commissions in the city was to be out there and be able to answer questions, ask questions, and for their input for their commissions, and to bring to council, and to get that attention out there in our community.
That's why we got you guys those shirts.
Yeah, yeah.
Because signage is such an important issue lately, do we have signs that suggest that people can adopt the parks?
We do have some, but probably not enough, and that's another thing that we'll likely have on the next agenda is to discuss signs. And what I'm gonna try to do is get an inventory of all the different signs that we have and where we might need to add signs. Signs are expensive there, and to me, we're gonna get off the subject a little bit, but the signs are a bit of a challenge because you can have so many that people don't read any of them, and I wanna be cautious of that. But we do have signs about Adopt a Park, and, you know, I don't know that we've done, like I said, a good enough job of promoting it. We have the digital billboards we could put on there, you know, please adopt a park, and we could maybe do more things like that. I mean, so.
Perhaps something even more simple is like a vinyl sticker put on the trash cans,
Yeah,
you know, because they're not going anywhere.
Right.
Nobody's looking to steal or destroy a trash can, like just around the lid, like adopt a park.
Right.
And then whoever changed, we could scrape the sticker off and put the new, you know, organization that's adopted that area.
Parks and Rec office. And Matt Golder is primarily the one who does our Adopt a Park stuff. He's the one who works with the groups. He gets if they need wheelbarrows or rakes, and so he's the one who does primarily the most of the work with them, and said Jerry's staff. But Matt's really been the go-to guy on the Adopt a Park.
Do you have, if it's a city parks department, and we would love to have a sign that says, you know, adopt a park or sponsor a park, because we also have an option to sponsor, would that just be a matter of letting the city clerk know or something, the media person, to put it on the sign?
To put,
Is there anything we would need to do to have it approved to get put on the sign, or does it cost anything at all?
who's adopted the park?
I'm sorry, on the electric,
Oh, yeah, we would
Billboard
put that, that
signs?
wouldn't cost anything. With the city, we can put stuff on there. So, yeah, we can get that on there.
okay, that'd be,
I think it's a good idea to put it on there early. I mean, so I kind of just thought of that on the fly here, but I think it's a good idea. Those, you know, they're very valuable, and I think it'd be a good idea. And I think we should really look at and hear from you guys what you think else we can do. So, I mean, that's what I think Karen's point is good. I mean, any commission, they should be concentrating on everything that's within that department, basically. So we need guidance, and that's what we're here for, so.
So as far as commissioner involvement, what shape would that take? Would we have a meeting? Would we get assignments, or how would that work?
I was just gonna say, talking to the public. You know, if you're seeing a lot of people, talk to them about it and just get that into their heads. And then they'll pass it on to someone too. And I think word of mouth is good. And how many of the electric signs do we have in the city?
I don't know the exact number. I think it's like 8.
I was gonna say 6, you're saying 5.
5, okay.
5. Thank you.
I think awareness and visibility would make the biggest change of things. Just like letting it be known, like somewhere where it's, you know, very visible for everybody to know, like, oh, this is taken care of on a volunteer aspect. I think we can make bigger gains just by it being visible, like with the electric signs, or like I said, on the trash cans or something.
Or maybe when we have like a park-sponsored activity, maybe, because usually there's some kind of introduction or some kind of talk about what we're doing, maybe just mention of that too, that.
Yeah, like
That's
First
good.
Fridays, for example.
Right.
And matter of fact, we're going to talk about First Friday, but that First Friday, maybe instead of just handing out brochures for the recreation programs, we can have the Adopt a Park program there too, and stuff like that. So, like I said, we have to do a better job promoting it, I think, too. So I think these are all great ideas.
yeah,
Social media, newspaper?
Yeah.
yeah. And maybe a recurring social media post that just invite on the Parks Department page, that just invites people, and it can be scheduled, you know, out for the entire year, every couple of weeks,
Yeah,
or
I like
every.
to change them up so they look a little different, maybe. I mean, I think it's a good idea if we can do that. I
Yeah,
mean,
so they notice
don't
them.
look- Right.
But yeah, maybe something like that, that just people see multiple times and then think about. I think when I think about how can I help to connect a person with a park to adopt, I'm trying to think of like who's utilizing the space, how would it be like, and then I like to think about like fostering that sense of ownership. Like we know we have a lot of litter and stuff at the high school, you know, so how can we get a good student group together that wants to adopt the park and, you know, have the sense of ownership for the park? And so I think kind of just thinking about the different parks and who can that be paired with, and then reaching out to them and having an application and helping connect them to, you know, this is where you go to get online and sign up, and maybe kind of checking back and asking how it went. You know, I would think that would be kind of helpful.
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a great idea.
Anyone else? I think that was a very good discussion on that.
I did just have a couple more things. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
I'll make it quick. So one thing I did notice is that when it talks about how we're recognizing our groups, and this is something we kind of did with Clean City Commission, and I'm not sure if this is kind of where we were going with that, but maybe it's something we could try to implement. But it says we'll recognize our services, we'll recognize the volunteer groups. And so it says like you are put on the webpage, which they're on there.
Right.
And then it says that we'll do a little volunteer recognition at our meetings. I know our meetings are quarterly now. I don't know what that would look like. But do you have any idea what that means?
Well, what it means, we put a sign up too saying this, after 1 year, that they do it for a year, we put a sign up saying this group has adopted this park. And we do announce it at the meetings when we get new adopters.
Oh, nice.
So, and that's primarily, and I've gone to Metcalf Park and addressed the group there when they met, and I'd be happy to come to when your group is going to meet at the trailhead and thank all them too. So, I mean.
I love this idea of doing this. I wonder if we can change the wording a little bit in the, on the website. I wonder if we could, when, kind of present that sign to them. I mean, the Parks Department will take it and post it where it goes.
Right.
But maybe just making that one thing. So when you've volunteered with us for a year, we have the sign made that, whatever your group is, Sounds of Kingman adopted Metcalf Park, or the mural at Metcalf Park, whatever. They'd have that sign there, but you could present it to them at the meeting instead of like an extra certificate or something that you have to put together. Maybe it could just be a picture with their sign with all of us.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Let's see, I think that was. And then I just had a question about the liaison, and you answered that. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, moving on in the action items is C. Hub's House Water Tank discussion. I attended the historical meeting in March. I like to look at the commissions and their agendas and see what different things that I could expand on. And this water tank, they were very, very passionate about the safety of the water tank at Hub's. The, what do you call it, a tower? It used to be up on a tower, and that was dismantled, but the water tank was just on the ground. They were afraid that kids would climb up and in, and or maybe it would fall over, or a wall of it would fall over. Is there
Yes.
anything else has come from that?
Nothing else has happened yet, but we plan on disassembling that basically and moving it out of there. And I'll go over what we plan on doing, what our department was recommending that we do basically. And we met with the National Register for the Historic Places. The lady came from there, I can't think what her name is, but she came and she was the one who kind of recommended taking it down and doing it, because it was a real hazard, and it still is a hazard because it's open on the top. A little kid could climb in there and not be able to get out and get hurt, and it could get to be a rodent or snake infested area under it. So we do plan on getting it out of there. But what we would like to do, here's a lady, Susan Lawson is the lady that we met with. And so this is what it looked like. But what we'd like to do is I'm just going to drop back to my last slide here. This is what we would like to do is put a informational interpretive sign is what it is. So it'd be something with a picture of the water tower there and explaining everything we know about that water tower, how many gallons it held, when it was constructed, when it was, so we'll put this right in the exact site right there. And so that's kind of what our feeling is about what should be done with it. So, and like I said, we met with Public Works with it when we took this down. So, because this is what it was, and we don't really think this was all original from back when it was there's a lot of boards that have been added to it, and even a lot of the metal that's on there now isn't what was used back then. So that's kind of what our take on what we want to do with it. So like I said, get a interpretive sign there with all the good information about everything about the water tank. And
Okay, I guess my question now is, does the Historical Commission know about that?
I don't really know if they do or not. I thought, we would talk about it here, and if you guys think that's a good thing that we want to do, then we'll send it on to them. I think would be a good idea.
Yeah, because they actually wanted to keep that tank, but they also wanted maybe fencing around it and
Yeah.
stuff. But if you tell them about how it's basically dangerous.
It is, I mean, and it's going to be unsightly to leave it there with a fence around it, in my opinion, and it's not, I think we'd be better off having some really good information about it there and a picture of what it was, and,
Yeah, hopefully that's what they'll go for.
that's my thought. If not, I mean, I'm not sure who's going to, if they want to keep it, I'm not sure who's going to take care of it and do all that, so.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Build
but
it
that-
like it needs to be. I mean, I don't really know what,
Yeah.
we're just going by what the state historic guidance that we got,
Mm-hmm.
basically. That's what we went with.
Well, Hubs is just a beautiful little park. And,
It is.
And we want to keep its beauty,
Yeah.
beautiful. All right, that's basically all I have on that, but now we go to number 4,
Well,
reports.
you want to go, any other questions? Anybody else
Oh,
have
I'm
any other
sorry.
questions or comments? I mean, it'd be.
I just wondered if we could have any recommendations from the Historical Preservation Commission as, like, before we make any decisions about what to do with it as a commission. I don't know how you guys all feel about that, but
I mean, I don't know. I'm willing to take whatever you guys think from what we want to do and send it to them to make their decision what they want to do. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
really know who.
so then they would make-
This isn't really
Yeah.
our, it's
Yeah.
not really Parks and Recreation.
yeah.
I think anyways, we maintain the grounds
Yeah.
there basically,
It
but,
feels more like their wheelhouse.
right. And that's what I think. And so I think
Yeah.
for us recommending what we think it should be,
Yeah.
I think it makes the most sense, but,
Is the city liable for any injuries or accidents that may occur on that structure?
well, I would say, you know how it is, anybody gets hurt anywhere, they're gonna go after whoever, and likely it would be the city. So, and our risk management department was there with us at this meeting when we met with the historic people, and they all agreed to take it down and disassemble it and get it out of there. That's what when we met, that's what the gist of the meeting was, and so that's what we're trying to do. And we talked about this at that meeting, so, because it's dangerous, and you could get cut on some of the things, the rivets are rusting off. I mean, it's just, it's a safety concern. It still is a safety concern, even though it's on the ground and there's not a fence around it, but, so, I think maybe we could take our recommendation and forward it on to the city's liaison to the Historic Preservation Commission, maybe would be what I would suggest that we do, but.
Yeah, I was planning on going to their commission meeting next Tuesday.
Okay.
Also.
I don't know if it's probably too late to get it on for that meeting, I'm guessing, I don't really know, but maybe I'll get it to them and see if they have I'm sure they have their agenda, that's all gotta be done weeks in advance now, so, but they can at least put it on their next meeting, and maybe somebody could talk about it at that meeting, that's gonna be on their next meeting.
Any more questions? Okay, now we can go on to number 4, reports. We have the Parks Maintenance Report. Oh, okay, we're going to do Yvonne with the Recreation Department first, and Aquatics.
So I have a kid that's graduating in like 5 minutes, so I'm gonna do the best I can. First, he wasn't gonna, they were making him wait, but anyhow. Thank you all for being here, and so Jerry and I switched so that I could go first. Our Recreation Division just finished up our spring season, and of course, what's right around the corner, summer. I placed in front of you the summer brochure guides, so you can reference those for any of our summer activities that we have coming up. We finished up our dance season for the spring. We ended with our season recital on May 3rd at Kingman High School. The revenues that we brought in for the 2 events that we had there on that one day was $5,762. I think it was pretty good turnout for what we had. As I mentioned previously, we had to do 2 recitals because of the number of participants that we had. And our season dance classes this last season brought in almost $41,000 in our recreation program. So I'm kind of a bit excited and happy and proud of that. This summer, we'll be offering first time that we're doing it this way, it's a 2-week dance camp. It runs from 10 to 5. So it's an all-day camp that runs Monday through Thursday. And it is a little pricey because it does have a lot that has to be covered within it. So we'll see how it goes. When I last checked, we had 7 registered, but we will take up to 30. Our fall dance season will begin on August 4th. It starts a little bit earlier than most of our other fall classes, only because of facility availability for our end-of-season dance recitals. We have to have our season end in November versus December because the schools kind of have limitations in their facilities for the month of December. On the sports end, our youth basketball finished up on March 1st, and all of the participants received their end-of-the-season participation medals. Men's basketball season ran extremely smooth this season. It was probably one of the smoothest in the time of me being here in the 26 years that I've been with the department, to be honest. We as a department continue to work with a lot of the outside organizations to accommodate their leagues. We work with the academies, we work with Lee Williams, Kingman High School. We have Kingman Soccer, Raptors Travel, Baseball, the girls softball, adult softball. There's just so much going on, Little League. In fact, in June, Little League will be hosting 5 of their district tournaments here in Kingman. So there'd be a lot of activity going down at Southside Park. And as far as pickleball goes, in April, we had our Pickleball and Peeps tournament over Easter weekend. We had 93 participants enrolled. They did a dog and cat food donation to the animal shelter. Let's see, we have, the event was sponsored by Romer Beverage, and Romer donated to us over $550 in prizes to give away. And for those who don't know, I was just speaking earlier about it, Ultra is the sponsor. Michelob Ultra is the ultimate sponsor for pickleball in general. And the local company here, Romer Beverage, said they want to continue to work with us and sponsor all of our pickleball tournaments that we have set, and they donate the non-alcoholic beer. So, along with other prizes, they gave paddles and balls and bags. They gave a bunch of stuff, a bunch of product. In June 6th, 7th, and 8th, June 7th and 8th, we have our Smash and Splash tournament. The men's and women will play on Saturday, followed up by a pool party, and then come back on Sunday with the mixed doubles taking place. And then in July, we have our firecracker tournament on July 5th and 6th. As we prepare for summer, families can expect to see a lot of our popular programs come back. Our Little Tykes Sports Camp, which is t-ball, soccer, basketball, and last year we added football. Most of those are already full. I have a couple openings in some of the slots, but that does begin the week of June 2nd. And the UK soccer will also be returning back to Centennial Park this summer. We have a lot of our other activities taking place. We have the Little Chefs and the dessert making classes, which we've had to add 2. We started, when we first started, we had 1 class of each, and we went up to 2, and at one season we even added 3 because of the amount of the wait list. We offer 2, we'll see how extensive the wait list gets to see if we'll add a 3rd class or not. We have science exploration, and then the popular Summer Fun Days camp is another one. That's about halfway full right now for each of those weeks. As far as our special events go, on March 1st, we had our day hike up that started down here at the 4th Street Trailhead and ended at the golf course. That was a whole department effort. It was all between recreation, parks, and golf, all partook in that event. We got a lot of positive feedback. People want more of them. So we're trying to see when we can set up some additional ones for that when it's not too warm. March 14th, we had our drive-in movie night scheduled, but we canceled due to complications of weather, and it was held on April 12th. We had 50 cars with just over 300 participants in attendance. That movie night was sponsored by MCC's College for Kids. Their $550 donation covered the cost of the movie licensing fee. March 28th, we had another event called S'mores and Stories. It was a new event that we hosted this year. We had 32 enrolled, and we could have taken up to 150. They did storytelling under the stars while the kids roasted marshmallows and made their s'mores. And then we had our Easter activities in the month of April. Our scavenger hunt is a Facebook post. We post like notices daily on our Facebook page and gives them a clue. It's kind of like, it's a scavenger hunt. It's like clue. You go out, read the clue, try to determine where the hidden eggs are. If they find the golden egg, it tells them what to do with it. They bring it back to our office. They turn it in for a gift basket. And we had baskets and products donated from various vendors throughout the community. And then we had our Breakfast with the Bunny, was another great event. We had 2 sessions to accommodate families. We used to do the Breakfast and the Bunny at Golden Corral, but since Golden Corral doesn't exist anymore, this is something we decided to do inside our community center, which isn't very large, so enrollments or participation has to be kind of kept to a minimum. We did get a lot of sponsors to help donate product for that, and then we also cooked additional food and such, and thanks to Commissioner Smith for showing up and participated and helped us serve our customers. On that same day, we also did our Bunny Paws and Hops, which was a photo shoot that you can bring your dog or your furry friends out to the dog park, and they were able to take pictures with the Easter Bunny, and they got to hunt eggs with doggy treats inside. And then coming up this summer is our annual family carnival night and movie night that takes place at Centennial Park on June 13th, followed by Mud Mania at Firefighters Park on July 10th, and then our float-in movie the day after that on July 11th. Our last summer event that will take place this summer, it will be on August 8th, and that's the family indoor bingo night that we do at the Kingman Middle School Gymnasium. For aquatics, both pools will open on Monday. We are in the preparations now to finish up the final steps of our hiring for our summer staff. The application process took place over about a 6-week period. Jobs were posted in February, interviews took place in March and April, and then we had a lifeguard class in April to certify anyone who is interested in becoming a lifeguard. All of our summer staff will be going through the city's onboarding process this Friday, and they'll have their orientation Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with the pools opening on Monday. And then swim lessons will begin the week of June 2nd, and they'll run for 2 weeks from there on out. And then registrations for those is always done the Thursday prior to each new session beginning. And all of that's noted inside your books too, in case anybody ever asks you questions. It's all detailed in there. I do want to thank my coordinator, Sandy, and our aquatic manager, Callista. They both worked diligently this summer or this spring to get all of our summer staff ready. They did the interviews, they proofed the applications. They've been working tightly with HR to get everything processed for them to meet this Friday. The recreation employees orientation date will be next Wednesday, May 28th, because all of the summer programs will begin on June 2nd. And then we recently had a departure of our other recreation coordinator, Teresa Acuna. So we'll be posting that shortly to replace for that, to fill that vacancy. And then we're also going to be doing 2 community outreach programs in June. We will be with the KRMC Kids Day on June 7th and the Hobbies and Habits event on June 14th. So, any questions?
Just a quick one.
Yep.
Did you get enough lifeguards this year? I know you were talking about in the past it was difficult to get lifeguards.
We did. Yeah, we're back up to where we need to be, and we hope will be able to retain them for a lot longer. We did start, as of last year, started hiring 15-year-olds. So now that we can hire 15 versus 16, it does help a little bit to keep them a little while longer.
Can I just piggyback on that question? And I do have a couple more questions.
Okay.
How many employees do you hire when you open up the pools? I'm just curious about how many jobs are provided.
It depends on how many are returning. So I can tell you the aquatic staff alone is right around 50.
Oh, cool. Okay. And then I just wondered, how do our dance classes compare, just out of curiosity, to some of the other like private dance classes? Are they?
Ours are more based on instruction, technique. They do learn routines. They're geared to get them to that next level, where the other ones are more based on competitions.
I mean, price-wise, is it a better deal for families?
I think we're probably more affordable, and that's the other problem is people who can't afford. They want their kids to do dance, but they can't afford it.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
ours are a little bit
wonderful.
more affordable.
Yeah, and it seems like it's been such a successful program, so that's really
We
neat.
did. We had 224 kids enrolled this last season. So it was
Awesome.
quite a bit.
And then I just because I'm still kind of new here and I'm curious, how do these kind of things get promoted? You have this amazing activity guide.
We do the first Fridays, we go to the school open house days, we do the community outreach programs. We do like probably 4, 5, 6 throughout the year. There's the literacy council day that we do with the schools. Those obviously go to every single elementary school. And they actually, in the elementary school, for the most part, they get into the kids' hands, backpacks, whether it makes it into the parents' hands, that's another story. Middle schools and high schools, no matter how much we try to get them in their hands, they just set them in the office and depend the kid to come and pick them up. So it's only if they're actually in there looking for it, or if a parent comes into the office and goes, oh, what's this? And then they pick it up.
Nice.
But we do
okay.
depend a lot on the elementary schools, Facebook. We do a lot of promotion on Facebook. So
And then probably on the little signs.
the
around
signboards, yep, we do that too.
town. Okay,
It's on the
awesome.
website.
Thank
It's on the
you.
city's
Yeah,
website.
everything's
On the
accessible on
website?
the website.
Okay, awesome.
I just want to say, I attended the hike and the breakfast with the bunny, both events, and they were really well done.
Thank you.
Your outfit did a great job in both. It was very well attended in both aspects. I think the kids had a ball, and I don't know who was in the bunny. I don't remember who actually had the bunny costume on. I don't think so, because this person had a lot of energy, Mike.
She was very good. She was very
She really
good.
was. She
Yes.
was excellent. Yeah.
Yes.
Very well done.
Thank you, sir. All right. All right, well, thank you
Okay,
all.
I just
Yes,
have one
Karen.
more thing. And in your, I noticed on this, your minutes here, not every sponsor was recognized. Like, say, the Mojave County Library with that s'mores and reading. Yeah, Mojave County Library isn't in here. But also the sponsors for the scavenger hunt, you had a lot of different places give you,
Yeah, they were
things to hand out.
announced they were posted on Facebook when the sponsors that were on, I mean, in my notes, because
Okay.
I don't have it in here.
right, I'd like to see it in the
Okay.
notes too, because those are hard copies. And I know,
Okay.
I go to other city websites and read their different things too, and that's one thing I picked up on. But I just, I'd like to thank your department and team. You provide a lot of events for the public, and that's
thank you.
great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we'll see you all next quarter.
Okay.
Thanks, Yvonne.
All right, now we have park maintenance report with the superintendent, Jerry Sipe.
All right, so a lot of my stuff kind of been covered with other things in your packet, but one I do want to go over is the Zip Cruise opened. I'm not sure if any of you've had a chance to do that. It's 66 feet long, and you can pretty much glide on it. It's ADA on one side, and the other side is just kind of a pedestal. But I'd recommend you definitely check it out. It's been super popular. Our post we did on Facebook had over 135,000 views from the last time I saw it.
Wow.
Then Lewis Kingman Park, we took we recycled the 2 Ramadas that we took down and got new ones and made a double Ramada at Ramada 1 now, so it's twice the size. In the spirit of how we recycle things. Some other repairs and improvements, we planted 3 Chinese pistache trees in the upper grass area here, or at Centennial, and then two at Centennial, and I believe 3 here. Our Toro DXi controllers, we now have phase 1 and 2 are installed. So every single park in Kingman except for Centennial and Canyon Shadows, which are phase 3, now have new controllers, and these ones can be ran by phone. So if there's any rain, anything like that, anywhere in the world, me and any of the guys can shut it off just with our cell phones. As before, we had kind of a basic kind of computer system that didn't really work anymore. It was ran by old walkie-talkies, but now we can literally go anywhere and just with our phones and run systems. We remapped all the parks to where now they're see all the stations on a live map where they're at. That was took a lot of work to do that, like especially with remapping and everything. And then the Health and Benefits Fair, we set up and took that down. Citizens Academy, we set up and took that down. Lewis Kingman, we put newer red curbs in. Golf superintendent and then Parks assistant superintendent Matt Golder met with West Coast Arborist and had a scope. We just took a whole tree inventory. So every tree that's taken care of in the city of Kingman, we have it inventoried, and it's a little over 2,000. Then shade structures were built in the house, and we're finished for the Kingman Little League, so the last 2 of those were installed at Southside. We had 151 irrigation issues fixed and 518 total MROs completed this quarter. Then some other ones, we got Grandview Pool, and they did new drain covers installed. Bollards at Monsignor Railroad Street have new reflective material. Any big things on this, I'd say, would be me, Matt Golder, and Melvin getting our CEUs completed. We have to do those every year, 6 of them. We've been participating in our Safe Lead monthly safety committee. The Hubs Park, that was already covered. Then one of our new playground pieces at firefighters, we had to have the spinner replaced. Then here's just kind of some of the bigger vandalism that happened over the quarter. There's mostly a lot of graffiti. Then this quarter, we're at $18,350 estimated cost in vandalism. That's pretty much mine. Anybody got any questions?
Is there any follow-up to the vandalism with the police department? How does that work?
So we still just call and report it and get a basic police report, but that doesn't really seem to go much further than that. Almost seems like they have to be caught in the act. One thing I can say is we are starting to get security cameras. We got 4 at our Centennial Yard right now. They were just installed.
Is there signs that let people know they're under surveillance at different areas?
Well, those are in our yard. We have to be authorized.
Huh?
It's in our yard where we have to be authorized personnel, like a fenced-in yard where all our equipment is.
Yeah, so where the cameras are being placed, is there a sign that lets people know you're on camera?
Not in there because it's pretty much just our crew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not in the park. It's in our maintenance yard.
And so those are the 4 cameras that went in, but there were like 21, I think you guys were gonna get?
Yes, it's going in different phases. So we did those ones first because we've had a lot of, this is where our yard gets broken into and all our catalytic converters get stolen.
Yeah.
And we're working with IT on that. I was going to touch on that. We're working with our IT department on that, possibly getting at the trailheads and the key areas where, where we have the most vandalism. Our staff has been working with our IT department on that.
And they can be moved around, like to different areas if you notice other things are.
I know that the biggest challenge with them, working with IT, is they have to be in a place where there's like internet. And most of our parks don't really have that.
So what do you do about the trailheads? To kind of figure something out?
Yeah, so it's more than just the cameras. A lot of the places will have to have some sort of power and internet also put in.
How much and what kind of damage are you getting at the trailheads?
Trailheads is mostly graffiti. We have had some trash cans kicked in, but I want to say the biggest part is graffiti. But what the problem with that is a lot of times they go up where it's hard to reach, so it's hard for us to get up there and come after them.
Is this down at the White Cliffs trailhead?
There's currently some there right now, yes.
Down there? Okay, yeah.
Car break-ins have been
There's a few
popular.
car break-ins and stuff too,
Yeah,
and so our
car
police
break-ins.
department,
Is that right?
we've been communicating with our police department and the IT department to see how we can get some cameras there and,
Boy, I bet that'd be a tough place for cameras. There's no,
right.
I mean, you've got
Those are the
rocks all the way
challenges,
around.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
What I have noticed with them though, it is a very good system. Like it'll even take still frames of the best, the best screenshot of somebody can capture. It'll show them in like a silhouette. And it even shows the path of the travel they went. Yeah, so they're really good quality.
I have a question on your irrigation with the phones now. Does it tell you if you have a break someplace?
No, because all our systems don't have any flow sensors in them.
Okay,
The only thing that's metered is just the water meter itself, and that's just checked once a month.
okay.
It does have setups for that where we could, but it would be like installing a lot of flow meters on different, depending on what you wanted it to do.
And the larger pipe sizes, flow meters for those, like where they're going into a park with a 4 or 6 inch main, those are very, very expensive. I mean, they have one pipe for smaller pipe sizes that aren't as expensive, but for the larger pipe sizes, they're very expensive, so.
And even then, at that point, like really, it only tells us what something was stuck on. Unless we did them on every lateral, but then even then, that's a big project.
Does it seem like this vandalism is happening at nighttime, or is it just all times of day?
So when our crew leaves at 2, it seems we found a sweet spot at one of them at Cecil Davis. We were noticing it was happening somewhere between 3 and possibly 5, between when Rangers were coming in and when our crew was leaving. Which makes sense because that's when you got school bus stops and everything else. So
Is there anything in our city, rules or anything that would keep us from being able to have like volunteer rangers or anything like that that might just
Still at
be a
best-
presence there?
We still wouldn't be able to police anything. We'd still have to call
Mm-hmm.
police.
Yeah. Like volunteers from the community that could make rounds, just so there's like a presence there? Is that anything that we're limited?
We can check in on, I don't think, we can have volunteers do things like that. You have to fill out an application to be a volunteer.
Yeah.
And that's why we gave you guys these shirts, because,
Well, I just think the more, like, if you're noticing it's between this time and that time, there's only so many of you.
BC now, it'll change again now because school just ended.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
Yeah.
it's hard to predict, but we've had some real challenges at Cecil Davis Park lately where
Yeah. Well, we also
plugging up
help,
yeah.
we hope the public,
So the newest thing
if
that's been
they're in the
happening,
park,
the
would-
newest thing
would
that's
see
been
something.
happening at a lot of our bathrooms is they're intentionally plugging them. Been pulling out vapes. We got it to where it's so bad we've had to actually call outside companies that have bigger equipment to do it, like Roto-Rooter and stuff along that lines. But we were pulling potatoes out of Cecil Davis, and it's happened multiple times. So we have a big event there, and then bathrooms backing up, go over there and pulling potatoes out of it.
anyone else?
I just had one, so sorry, you guys, I just had one quick question. The tree inventory, so is this now, or maybe this is something you guys already do, where you have like a rotation of when new trees go in? Does this help with that, or?
So what this is basically just an inventory of what we have, and then every time we add a tree, we can obviously add it. It does have like suggestions on there for what kind of care it does need. But as far as putting trees in, we kind of push people towards the adopt-a-tree program we have for like people that donate trees. Then if they don't have a place, we go to a place where we know we've cut some down. But if not, if there's a certain place they want, like we work with them the best we can to get it in the right spot.
Is it usually like shade trees that are like drought-tolerant shade trees?
So a lot of them we've done are the Mondale pines because they adapt real quick.
But they're not really much shade, are they?
When they get bigger, yeah.
They get a little bit more
Yeah.
shade?
But it's some of the other species are a little more challenging. You have to like babysit them a lot because we only have turf irrigation. So when you got a tree in there and it's not quite getting hit by sprinklers, we're trying to baby it with water trucks and other things for a while.
Okay,
But we try to find something that fits the area.
awesome, thank you.
And I'll tag on to that. So we also have, we're putting in at the golf course right now, a tree nursery. We're planting over 300 trees, and a lot of the pines, but we're going to plant a lot of other kinds too that we'll be able to take out of there and use in the parks as well. It's not just for the golf course. So we're starting a nursery there, and that's going to be a big help to put more trees in cool places, so.
Okay, anyone else? Well, Jerry, we just want to thank you and your staff.
I appreciate
And
it.
it's a very busy season coming up every summer.
Yeah, I got a really good crew, and I love how I can come up here and show you guys stuff and like how we recycle things. Like made something instead of throwing a half of something away, now we doubled something. Like that's one of the coolest parts I think of my job is finding ways to do stuff like that. So
Yes.
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. We're on to number 5,
Thank you, Jerry.
announcements by commission members and the director. Mike, would you like to go first?
Yes. I just want to update a few things on the trails. The Omaha Drive Shared Use Path, our department's been clearing it, and we came into there's one property that's on the same parcel, and their property goes to 2 points on the end, and it's interfering with the trail, so they're going to donate those to us. So we've run into a little bit of a slow up on it, but we're working on it, and we're really close to having that resolved, and then our guys have it almost all cleared, so we're excited about that. So Engel Homes will be able to get working with Desert Construction and grading it and doing all the good stuff. So we're pretty excited about that. Also, the Trails Master Plan is in the works right now. It's going to focus on trails in our city, those passing through our city, like the Sun Corridor Trail, the Arizona Peace Trail, all those things. So, and then it's going to connect to areas in the trails that are in the county, like the Pie in the Sky, those kind of things. So it's going to focus on utility easement trails. It's going to focus on all trails that are in our city, where we might add new trails, and trails that will link passing through and around our city. So it's pretty exciting, concentrate on trailheads. We need, obviously, it would be really good is to have trailheads for ATVs and stuff where off of the 40, people can come, park, and get on their ATVs and go on the other trails. So we're looking at all those things, and we're getting ready to have a stakeholder kickoff meeting. It's going to be scheduled. We're trying to reach out to the groups like BLM, the county, ADOT, CRADA, and EMBA to get those key stakeholders all in one meeting to get what we're going to be doing. So, and also, First Friday is going to be a focus on trails. So we're excited about that. We're going to have stuff down there, and I've reached out to the county and BLM and try to get all of them involved too, so we can have booths there with information. And Matt Golder's worked with our engineering department and come up with some really nice brochures, and so we're going to have that stuff there as well. Sunbelt Park, I want to touch on that real quickly. We interviewed, we had put out an RFQ for construction manager at risk, and we had a really good group of interviews, and we're really excited about that. We're in the negotiating with the company now that we've chosen, and really some good things came from the interviews even. Like I was preaching all along that we need turf, we need turf, we need turf, that's all we need. And because that's the information I was getting from the soccer people, right? And so it is very important, but also if we have a hope of a bond issue passing, we think it's important to maybe get a playground there, not the whole playground, but a playground, maybe a splash pad, so we're getting people from the community to come out there too to support what we're going to try to get in the end. So we think it's pretty important to, so it kind of opened up my eyes listening to in the interviews that we had. They were really, really good, the team that we chose. And what else was cool about it, there was somebody from the architecture firm was on the panel too, and they even brought up things questioning that, which I felt really good about, because for them to question when there's somebody on the interview panel that's from that company, I thought that was cool, about the drainage channel. And I had asked the same question, so now we're looking a little more detail to that. But the drainage channel is about 90% designed. The park is right about 60% close, and we're trying to get the construction manager at risk in there to help, because they have a lot of good ideas how we can streamline this. And also we've got a archaeological study being done there as well, so that we can start applying for grants, because you can't apply for grants through Arizona State Parks if you don't have an archaeological study done on the site. So it's important to get that done first. So that's in the works right now too. And I'd touch on what Jerry talked about, the playground at Lewis Kingman Park and the Ramadas and the restrooms. And I think the old Ramada where we made two of them together is really cool, because it's now twice the size, and it's still showing what the old one was when it was a rest area. So I think it's kind of cool. So then also Grandview Pool, we're filling it right now, and it's going to be ready for Monday. But then after this season, we've got the work we're going to be doing on that. So we're just excited to be able to have it open for this year, and then get going on the reconstruction of a lot of the stuff, the pump room and the heaters and all that stuff. And what we're going to do is the wading pool will go away, and we'll have a small splash pad there for the little kids. So it's just going to be a pretty cool thing, I think. It's going to be a big improvement, and we're looking forward to that. And also, thanks to Jerry's team, I really appreciate the job they do, and Yvonne's team, and Sherry in the office, our part-time office staff is awesome. It's going to be challenging without T there, but we're going to bring us back some Ryan Fruworth, who was one of our recreation coordinators before. He's still working with us, like at the dance recital and stuff like that, doing some part-time stuff. And so he's going to help out a little bit as he can. And we have one of our park rangers, who's also a teacher at Lee Williams, is going to pick up some of the programs, that the Little Tykes program and things like that. So we're working hard to try to do this seamless as possible. So, but with that, that's about all I have, and I appreciate all you guys and your guidance. So, thank you.
Thank you. You have any comments or anything?
I just had a request for an agenda item for next meeting. No announcements, thank you.
Okay, that's okay. I wanted to recognize, City Council had recognized the Kingman Youth Advisory Committee for their accomplishments this past year. Today's youth are our future commission members and possibly council members, and they really did a fantastic job. I'm looking forward to see what they do next year. And also, with council's approval last night to waive the fees for the Kingman Little League for the practices down there at Southside with, the June and July district and state tournaments. It's great because that brings a lot of people into town. It's money in the restaurants, money in rooms, money in the stores. It's really good for Kingman, and I know the teams love coming here too, because the great job the Parks Department does in the fields and stuff down there. So thank you to the council for waiving those fees. Okay, that's all I had. Okay, let's go to requests. Requests for future reports and updates. Vice Chair Ferry, what do you have?
Okay, so I noticed on my little hike that there was a lot of dog poo at the White Cliffs Wagon Wheel Trail. And I think it would be nice if we could have a little discussion about ideas for community outreach and education for that dog poop problem we're having.
Okay, does anybody else have any requests for next agenda in our next meeting in August? No one at the moment?
August 21st.
August 21st, okay. Well, I guess we can entertain a motion for adjournment. Anyone?
I move to adjourn.
A second?
I second that.
Oh, we have two people seconding, that's great. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all.